Welcome to this YouTube channel of K-Leaders. I'm Francis Chan. In the last episode, I invite you to answer my 8 questions. From this episode onwards, I will share with you my answers together with explanations. If you can answer all these 8 questions correctly, congratulations! You are fully aware of the company ordinance requirements. However, if you have different answers, let's go together to understand the law requirements. Question 1. Do you have registers of directors, members, company secretaries, and charges? The answer must be yes. The law do require every Hong Kong company to create and maintain registers. When we take over a new company secretarial case from a new client, I will ask for the registers. But unfortunately, the client can only provide me with copies of the filed annual returns. The client said that, Francis, I never heard of registers. What are they? In the annual return, you can find details of the directors, members, company secretaries, and charges. So can you rely upon this annual return and not ask me for the registers? Unfortunately, I will answer them, this is not possible. Because the company ordinance do have different sections requiring different registers to be created and maintained. If the company fail to create and maintain those registers, they are in breach of the company ordinance and will be exposed to level 4 punishment, which is currently $25,000 Hong Kong and daily default fine of 700 Hong Kong dollars. So the law requires every company to create and maintain registers and input the details of directors, members, company secretaries, and charges there too. Language to be used should be in English or Chinese. Once the register is created, they should be maintained in Hong Kong, either at the register office or at any other place as specified by the board of directors. The location of keeping the registers must be reported to the company registry, and any change should be reported to the registry within 15 days. Question 2. Where do you keep your statutory books and common seal? The answer must be in Hong Kong. These are the list of documents within the definition of statutory books and records. You will see that the registers, the minutes, and also the common seals are inside the list. Green Book are very famous everywhere. But in view of the current days, those registers and minutes can be kept in soft form. So the Green Book is now less common. Common seal, I believe you heard of this in my early episode. On the 3rd of March 2014, when the new company ordinance come into force, companies can opt not to use the common seal. However, if they still want to use the common seal, they need to affix the seal in accordance with the provisions of the Articles of Association. If they choose not to use the seal, the director can execute the document as if the seal has been used. If the company has only one director, the sole director can execute the document. If the company has 2 or more directors, then 2 directors have to execute. If the articles allows, the document can be executed by a director and a secretary. My PLC client asked me many times, Francis, can I keep the common seal in China? The answer is no, because the law do require common seal to be kept in Hong Kong. If you really need to use the seal overseas, you can adopt an official seal, which is very similar to the common seal, but that official seal will specify the seal is to be used in that particular jurisdiction. Company records is the term that you can find from the company registry form. Company records means registers, minutes, and other documents that are required by the company ordinance to be kept by a company, but do not include accounting records. In the annual return, you can see a box that you can need to fill in where you keep those company records. If there has been any change in location of keeping these company records, you will need to report to the company registry in Form NR2 within 15 days of the change. I think I mentioned in the early episode that the company registry have the site inspection team. They will send the people to the registered company and go to the reported address to inspect the statutory registers. If the company cannot produce registers at the first site visit, then the officer may give them a warning and arrange it at another time to do the inspection. If the register cannot still be produced at the second interview, then the registry may likely issue a penalty notice immediately. Those requirements looks very simple, but in breach thereof will be a non-compliance and will cost you the penalties. So let's go to the next episode to go through the other law requirements in my other questions. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please give us a like and subscribe and share with your friends. Look forward to your continued support. See you next time. Bye bye.